What's up, everyone? It has been quite some time since I have given you an update on my 96 Bronco that I put a Coyote motor into. Um, there's been a lot going on. There's also not been a lot going on, which is why it's been so long. So with that said, let me show you exactly what I've got done here. All right, we'll start first with the cooling system. I've got a pair of contour fans here. Previously, I had a Taurus fan, both of which will work, but ultimately I ended up going with the contour fans here. It's just a homemade bracket that mounts to the fans and mounts to the radiator. Nothing special going on there, but it is controlled by the PCM. Speaking of the PCM, I finally got it mounted along with the fuse box right here. This is version 3 of a bracket I made, and it bolts to the top of the inner fender. And the reason that happened is because I originally had it bolted to the inside of the actual fender here, but this hinge where the hood closes, as you can see, takes up all of that area right there. So everything has to be mounted far enough inboard so that you have room for this hood hinge to close. Being that this is a Gen 2 and there's not a mass air sensor on it, I found the cheapest cold air intake I could find. It was a Rough Country off of Amazon for like 80 bucks, but it's black, it blends in and does its job, so I wasn't about to spend $300 for not. Finally, power steering was a big thing that's been talked about, and unfortunately, I just did not have enough money to buy the KRC kit as much as I wanted to do that. So I picked up this Volvo power steering pump off of a buddy for 50 bucks, and I've got it mounted to the actual factory Bronco airbox mount here. There's a little hole I cut in the bottom, and the brackets mount directly to that. So it is firmly mounted in place. It is not going anywhere, and I'm waiting on some parts and pieces for the power steering lines. So the pressure port here is metric, and it is the same size as the two ports down there on the steering box. It's a 16 by 1.5 millimeter pitch. And so all of those AN fittings are coming in probably tomorrow, I think. I'm not sure, but soon. So all I've got to do is run the lines and then run the wires. The good thing about these Volvo pumps is they're pretty simple. Let me show you. I think they can be run. I mean, they can for sure be run standalone, but I think you can also set them up to run PWM. So I'm not doing that. I'm just going to run on and off. So these are your main power supply here. I saw online these can pull up to 65 amps, but this being 12 gauge wire, looking online, the most amperage this is rated for is 25 amps. So I'm going to put an inline fuse with the 40 amp fuse in it and hope for the best. If it pops, then